Hey, happy Saturday morning. Turf Talk One-on-One. Me, Travon Smith. It's always a pleasure to get up early in the morning and accommodate these young men's schedule because they're so busy throughout the week, whether with their high schools or training programs. This is what we signed up for, so we'll continue to do that. This young man, I had a chance to go out there. I know his family out there at Salesian High School. Which, by the way, probably has the best taco bar there is out of all the places I've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
to through SoCal. The taco bar is amazing and it's very affordable. But this young man's a superstar in the field, a superstar in the classroom. I know he hits the off-season work programs hard because I see him around. And I'm gonna let him go ahead and introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, man. Tell them what high school you play at, what's your name, what position you play, and any accolades that they need to know. I know them all, but any accolades they need to know.
Yeah, for sure. Ayden Ramirez, class of 25, athlete at Salesian High School. Accolades, back-to-back offensive league MVP. This year, uh, taking on the role as a team captain. So
Okay.
yeah, few few of my accolades right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely Legion High School in the building. Talk to us a little bit about last year and some things that happened to where you got those offensive, accolades, as well as to where the team, wants to see you take on a bigger level and be a captain this year.
Um, Man, the team was overall like the year as it went on. I got injured first of all in our scrimmage. We had a four-way scrimmage with Downey Inglewood Cathedral at Downey High School. I sprained my shoulder, and that was one thing. It was just like whoa, like I've never been out like from the field for a long time. I
Mhm.
was still able to play that first game, but I wasn't really 100%. But just overall, just it's different. Like I knew I was taking on a new role, even as the year as I wasn't really a captain, but I was seen as somebody who people on the team could look up to, and it was just trying to do all the little things right. Obviously, like I'm not perfect, and there's times where I've slipped up or I've talked to teammates in a certain way, or just trying to come off as a leader, even though like sometimes where I don't think I'm a leader, but there's times where people see what I'm doing and it's like, okay, like it's time to really lock in and focus. And overall, as the year went on, I think we really just got accustomed to working. Like we was really working hard. It was different because we were moving up in divisions, playing tougher teams. Like we played Summit, team out in the IE.
Yeah,
It was a
Summit,
good game.
Summit is
Yeah,
legit.
yeah,
Summit is
Summit was
legit. Summit
legit.
had a good defense.
Yeah.
So
We ended up coming out on top 14-13. It was weird
okay.
because usually like
Hey, you see,
yeah,
I knew it was going to be a
yeah,
dogfight because somebody got a good, solid defense.
yeah. They got good solid defense and that quarterback
Yeah,
real
yeah.
tough. So yeah, it was crazy because it was just like we never really faced adversity as a team like that. And just like we was down 13-0 at halftime. And just in the locker room it was silent. Our DB coach really just told us like there's people in here that really want to go D1 and y'all not showing it right now. And it
Mhm.
was just like we really had to step up. Even if people not going D1, they still had to step up because overall we had to come together as a team and really just go put our best product out in the second half, and ultimately we did. And that was just a big thing, just facing adversity. There was times where it was hard. Like Coach Anthony Atkins, at head coach at Salesian, he really just taught us discipline and really just working hard. Like even if some people is really good and not getting the looks they want, is you gonna have to work regardless. And that was one thing that was really instilled in us that we just really had to work. Ultimately, we ended up falling to MLK in I think the second round of the playoffs. But just overall, that team that we had that year was just special. Like I think that if we really just ended up like if we really just carried on how we did when we first started league, we could have did some damage. But yeah, that was really much all I really have for about that team for real.
Okay. Okay. So you guys lost in the second round to MLK, and then Summit seems to be like it was that your most difficult game as far as last year, or what was another difficult game besides apparently the loss to MLK? What was another problem child that you had throughout the season where it helped you guys grow closer as a team?
I'd say when I think the St. Anthony game. I think
Uh,
We had Summit. I think we had St. Anthony either that week, the week after, or that was like one of our last games, and we was I think 3-0 up until that point, and that was our first loss of the season. And now that game was really hard for me because I didn't really get to play that game. It was I sprained my other shoulder in that game, like in the first quarter, and it was just like, damn, like I could barely even move my shoulder right now, and just overall, like I didn't know if I was gonna get back in, and ultimately I ended up doing that, and it was just like it was just a toughness moment. I was just playing only offense because I was going both ways. I was playing safety, nickel, and then I was playing slot, running back on offense, and then I was just like, nah, I'm gonna suit back up. I got it wrapped and everything. I was barely able to even run. Like my arm was just
yeah,
over
yeah,
here running like I was in a sling, but it was whatever I had to do to try and get my team to that dub. Ultimately, it didn't end up winning. I think it was like 35-20-21. It was still a tough game. Like they were a physical team,
yeah.
and it was just overall just knowing that when I was out, my team wasn't really playing the same, or like they saw me and it was just like, damn, like they kept their head down, and it was just one of those things where like I know I had to play even if I wasn't 100. Like I know I had to play because
Be out
it
there.
helped. Yeah, to help boost up the morale. Ultimately, it did. We was able to get back a few scores, but ultimately they held us off until the end, and it was just one of those things where it's like it's a toughness moment. Like I'm over here getting hit, everything on my
Yeah.
shoulder, and it's just like it's hurting even more. But it was just one of those things I had to will myself through for the team. It was just one of those things where it's just like there's gonna be way harder moments in life, and it was just one of those things where, like it's high school, junior year, like you gotta play. Like
Okay.
it's pretty much one of the only things I got for real. Like so, it was just like I gotta keep playing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. If you're just tuning in, it's Turf Talk 101. Me, Travon Smith, talking to Salesian, running back, corner, safety, nickel, Ayden Ramirez. Um, let's talk a little bit about your how do you see yourself portrayed in that offense? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Like what's your, like, not your title, because we know you play running back and stuff, but what's your position in the offense? Like, are you the spark? Are you the, you know, what how do
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
yourself? What's the
I
perception?
say like in the offense, I'm the spark. I mean, I try to keep it humble as possible. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to say I'm this, I'm
Yeah,
that,
I know.
but
Yeah,
like overall, like in the game, like I could like when I do something, it sparks everybody.
the
Like there's
momentum. It carries the momentum.
yeah, like especially in the MLK game, like it got called back. They scored and they punt or now we held them and then they punted us. We got the ball back and I took that punt to the house. And it was just one of those things where like the crowd's all into it. It was one of the things where it's like a spark plug. Like even in the summer game, we was down. I scored on a seam route, and I took it. And it was just after that, it was just momentum. Like it's one of those things where like I'm realizing that like yeah, you could be humble, but there's also a time where you got to be confident when like just stand
Yeah.
on what you really are in the offense. And that was one of those things like I'm the spark plug, and I just got to really just like assimilate to that role. And it's just like one of those things where I just got to keep carrying it on and just even though if I'm not the spark plug, I can make somebody else's spark plug by
Yeah.
drawing people to me, and then they end up taking something to the house or they end up making a big play, and it just sparks the whole team in general. So it's just one of those things.
Definitely. And that's the mentality of a captain. Want to ask you a little bit about, as far as just last year, you were more of like, I don't want to say the underdog, but you weren't the captain. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you grew into that perception. Now it's like you're gonna be, now everybody, as soon as they get on the film room, they're gonna be like, okay, we're looking at four. Now
yeah,
this year is all about four. Like, hey, if we're on defense, somebody needs to be on four. Somebody needs to be on top of four. You know, like the safeties.
back it, yeah.
It's shifting to your side. So, how do you feel about that perception this year? Instead of like last year, you kind of got on the field and then they found out you was the guy after you played.
I think it's just one of those things where, like I gotta accept it. Like people, it was gonna happen regardless. Because even if I went to college and balled out, they was gonna do the same thing. So
Yeah,
just like trying to get used to it now, and just overall, just knowing that even if I'm not getting the ball, that shows an opportunity that gives an opportunity to somebody else on the other side of the ball to go eat and go tear up their DB or go tear up their linebacker, go tear up their D lineman. So it's just like it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, you gotta put the overall well-being of the team over your individual stats in probably a game. Like there's probably gonna be games where I don't even get it, like I don't even get a touchdown, but I got my other teammates scoring 2, 3 touchdowns, or I got my quarterback throwing 5 touchdowns to my other teammates, and they get a look. And overall, it's just gonna help the success of the team, which is
Okay.
the overall dream is to really
Definitely.
get that
Definitely.
ring. So
Definitely. I want to talk a little bit about your body as far as this year. What are some things you're focused on this year as far as the off season, as far as staying healthy, because they're using you in a situation where you're getting a bang bang. Uh,
yeah.
so what are some things that you did you do treatment? Have you done like what are some things you're doing this off season to help you get through that punishment of the ground game?
Yeah. I think it's just lifting more. There was like I think I really kind of neglected in my first like few years, and overall neglecting sometimes treatment because like sophomore year I wasn't really getting treatment because I didn't really think I was gonna get touched, and like the only time I got really was getting banged up was a championship game. The other times I was just running past people or whatever, so I wasn't really getting touched. Maybe a few ice a little here and there, but now it's just like, oh, I gotta really like maintain my body, so I gotta ice up after practice, ice up here, roll out before lifts, and like activate my muscles before like games and everything. Like it's just like trying to just maintain my body so I can know I can be on 100 anytime they need me. So
Okay.
yeah. And overall just hitting the weight room a lot. Like Coach Gomez does a really good job of getting like we was working out at 6 a.m. and it was just like
Yeah.
damn, like
Get
6
that.
a.m. just overall. But I think it's just we really like we didn't really neglect it, but we looked down upon it sometimes. But realistically, he was really doing us a
Yeah.
favor, like because there was times where we just didn't want to be there, but we were still pumping iron at 6
Yeah.
a.m.
Yeah.
and it's really paid off. Like I've really seen myself get stronger, faster, bigger, and it's just hitting that weight room really just helped a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's talk a little bit about the Salesian. What can we expect from Salesian High School this year? And then we'll get back to what can we expect from you. Overall, from the team, what can we expect this year from them?
Salesian football this year is really young. Like we got kids coming in at they're gonna be sophomores playing on varsity. And it's really just coaching them up and getting them to really be in that mindset. Like it's a dog eat dog world. Like this ain't JV no more. This is real football where somebody gonna hit you. And it's just like just trying to get them coached up, trying to get them to learn the techniques, and just overall we're gonna be a young team, but with a young team there's energy. So it's just I think that we'll be able to do some damage, and we'll be able to just use their young energy to and coach it up and get the seniors' wisdom into them, and just realize that it's a bigger picture and that we're all trying to achieve, and that if we work together that we could really achieve it.
Yeah, a great mindset. Great mindset. What's some goals you have for this year? Even though you're on a young team, you still got to get yours in some kind of way. What's some goals you got set for this year?
I think a goal really is just to win a CIF championship, 1,000 all-purpose yards, and I think I'll be satisfied with that. I think that if we just put our best foot forward, that even like I don't even want to say it, but even if we don't get to the CIF championship, that for years to come, that Salesian football is going to be set,
Okay.
and then that's just really the ultimate goal is just to build a championship mindset.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you're hearing it right here, Turf Talk 101. We're talking Salesian High School. The program is definitely on the rise. Tell the coaches, everybody, they're doing a great job. We appreciate you for hanging out with us on this Saturday morning. Go ahead and tell them your name, your position, and where they can find you at again, man.
Ayden Ramirez, class of 25 athlete, Salesian High School. Be on the lookout for something big.
Yes, sir. We'll have all your information posted below. Tell everybody I said what's up, and I appreciate you hanging out.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.